I'd like to welcome you to BeMoreNews.com, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth. We're here with the Director of Public Affairs at WBAL TV 11, the best television on television, Wanda Draper. Hello, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Ooh, a sad day for the city of Baltimore.
It is a very sad day for the city of Baltimore. It's a sad day for African American women. And it's a sad day because it's a long, hard struggle to become mayor of an American city. And to become mayor of an American city and have to take a fall, it's a sad day for all of us. But it also is a day of learning for us, because it's a day that teaches us that you really, really need to pay attention to detail. You really, really need to pay attention to the people you surround yourself with. You really, really need to pay attention that as you go and do the job that you're doing, you have to also keep in mind that your personal life is an open book. There's a whole, the Bible says to whom much is given, much is expected. And so as a result of that, part of what is expected of you is that you'll keep your personal life on point, as well as your professional life, and as well as your political life. And so I think this also serves as a reminder and a wake-up call to all of us that we need to be aware and keep those things in mind, because as we move forward and as we progress in life, we represent an entire race of women.
The big sub-news, if you will, is the media blackout from 2:30 to 4 o'clock at City Hall.
I personally think that that's a mistake, because here you have a mayor who I think everyone unilaterally agrees is doing a good job. She has done good things in the city. She's passionate about the city. She loves the city. Now is the time to highlight those things. What happened today is a setback indeed, but that does not mean that you close a public building to the public. That means that you use this opportunity while everybody's shining the light on you to show that you can do the job and that you are doing the job, and tout what you have done. A media blackout makes no sense, because what's going to happen is people stayed on the air an extra hour to talk about the media blackout. So they could have been staying on the hour talking about she left the courtroom, she came back to City Hall, she got down to business, she's facing a multi-million-dollar budget deficit, and she was on it. She said in the beginning that she was committed to standing trial and running the city, and here she is running the city.
Any thoughts about the possible transition from a Dixon to a Rawlings-Blake administration?
Well, I think the city charter sets that up, and I think that that's going to play out legally in terms of the way the charter in the city has been established. And I think that probably what the new administration has is the basic fundamental things that have been established by the present administration, and they'll be able to build on those. And I think they have some lessons to be learned from that administration, and hopefully they can move the city forward. Because this is one of the most difficult times in American history to move a city forward. I said to someone not too long ago, when we learned about the recession and the Depression, we thought that was history. Nobody thought that we were going to live through 1929 and 2009, and here we are. So I think that there are lots of lessons to be learned as the next administration tries to move Baltimore City forward. And not only Baltimore City, most of the urban cities in this area. I was looking at the census data, and I saw that 60% of African Americans in this country live in 10 cities. So those 10 cities are facing a real challenge now. We all know that. We all understand that. So I think now is the time to embrace the new administration and work toward moving it forward so that it's better for all of us.
Does this guilty verdict, does it have any implications on the national scene? I mean, here you have your first African American president, and this is the first African American woman and first woman mayor of the city of Baltimore. Do they have any correlation? Is there any impact on now what black politicians can do in America?
I think not. I think black politicians who are not found guilty Black politicians who are successful will continue to be successful. Black politicians who have been convicted will continue to have to struggle, and it's going to be harder for them than others who've been convicted, because there is a different standard, and no matter what we say, we have to always understand that there is a different standard for us, and there's a different level of expectation. And we can say, oh no, all men are created equal. All men are not created equal. Black men and women are not created equal. We are created so that we have to be better. We have to do better. We have to be smarter. We have to achieve more. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. And then on top of that, we have to work together and help each other, because that's the only way we're going to succeed. And the rules aren't going to change. The rules for us are always going to be different, and we need to accept that and embrace that and understand that and act like we know that.
Well, one last question. 2010 will be a statewide election here in the state of Maryland. Any thoughts on an Ehrlich comeback to take out the current governor, Martin O'Malley?
Well, I suspect very strongly that former Governor Ehrlich will come back, and I think it's going to make for another heated election. But I think it'll also make a time that it's going to put the issues on the table. And I think other than the little frat boy fight that they're going to have, I think they're going to have to really look at the issues and the economy and education. And I mean, if you look at the fact that 15% of our kids taking assessment tests still aren't proficient in science, these are the kinds of things we need to deal with. You know, they can have their little frat boy fight, but realistically, I think people more than 4 years ago are looking at, how do I survive in this economy? And this economy is not going to go away by 2010. It may get a little better, but what people have lived through in 2008 and 2009, they will not soon forget. And they won't forget it in 2010 when they're looking to see who they want to be governor of this state. They want somebody to be governor of this state who understands and who's going to address the issues and who's going to stand up and try to move Maryland forward. And we're positioned to do that, but there needs to be leadership to get that done. And I think that's what voters in Maryland are going to be looking for in the 2010 election.
Good deal. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Anytime.
The one and only Wanda Draper, Director of Public Affairs here at WBAL TV 11, the best television on television. Keep watching Be More News, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.